Welcome back to my channel. It feels strange saying that after 1.5 years. It's not like I had disappeared on purpose. There were a lot of home projects going on since we are a DIY home. So things take a lot of time and I was having a lot of work on the professional front as well, and I'm really happy for that part. But apart from that, there was a phase of self-doubt as well. In the last 1.5 years, I had made multiple YouTube videos but never posted them because I always felt they were somehow not good enough. I kept getting messages from some of my very sweet YouTube subscribers checking on me, where I am, why am I not posting, and I'm really sorry I disappointed all of you. And last week, one of my very old YouTube subscriber commented on my video saying that she has almost given up on my YouTube channel. She was looking for the long format videos, not Instagram reel. And that really shook me. I thought, let's get back to it. Whatever I can do, let's do it. So this is just me getting back to YouTube after ages. This is going to be a very simple vlog, a day in my life kind of video. This was a cloudy, gloomy day, so I have just shot few glimpses from my day, and next week onwards there is going to be a lot of interesting videos. I am also planning a bedroom reveal video. We are doing a makeover, and then there is going to be a lot of interesting videos around Holi and general, just around summer and all that. I'm recovering from a long episode of stomach infection, and after so many days I was feeling better and I decided to deep clean the house. Recently we had a lot of house guests at our home, and I noticed my white accent chair got pretty dirty. It has some stains, so I'm going to use a product I have been using for quite some time for spot cleaning my couches and different upholstery, carpets and all that. Because it is not always possible to get the whole sofa clean professionally every time there is a stain, so I always use this upholstery cleaner. I bought it from Amazon and I will leave the link in the description box. The process is pretty simple. Just dilute some liquid in water and gently rub it over the stained area with a brush. Leave it for some time and then we will wipe it off with a clean microfiber cloth. Make sure the microfiber cloth you're using is a little bit wet so that you are taking out the washing product from the sofa, and let it dry. It will be clean. It has been very gloomy and cloudy lately here in Delhi NCR. So whenever this happens, I make few changes in my home. Small changes like just shuffling things on my coffee table. So today is one such day. I'm going to add a bit more color on my coffee table. So this beautiful plate is something my mother got me from Turkey, and it has a cup as well, but I use the plate as a decorative plate on my coffee table. And I'm going to add a candle since the weather is so gloomy. So this year I'm also trying to reduce my screen time because being a content creator anyways, I spend a lot of time on mobile. So whenever I feel bored now, I'm trying to do small DIYs, some meaningful things, so that I'm happier and not spending too much time on the screen. And this DIY is something I have been watching on Pinterest. So basically everyone is framing their photo booth pictures and Polaroids, and I love the idea, even though we don't have photo booths in India as much. So I decided to use a service on Amazon where you can just upload your pictures and get printed them in a photo strip style. So I also use that service. I will leave the link in the description box if in case you want to try it. And then we will use a fabric as a base for these photos. Also, I've realized since everything is digital now, we have stopped taking prints of our memories, and very often something happens, your mobile gets stolen, your laptop hard disk is getting crashed, or cloud mein kuch ho gaya, and very often we lose a lot of precious memories. So I think taking small prints is a good idea. I'm going to do a lot more of these DIYs. I'm trying to preserve more and more memories every year. So today I'm going to frame an old picture of me and my husband from a trip before my daughter was born, and I'm going to use a beautiful fabric I had left over from an old DIY, and I'm using this frame. I got this frame from decor. I think this is not available anymore, but you will find many such frames on decor and on Amazon as well. I'll try to find something similar for you. So basically I'm going to cut the fabric according to the size of our frame. I'm not going to cut the frame very precisely because I want to reuse the fabric if in case I plan to use some other picture frame, because I keep doing this. I know myself, I'll get bored of it and I'll change the frame. So I want to use the fabric again. I think the striped fabric is beautifully complementing our vintage photo frame, and I'm going to use just one picture from this photo strip. If you have a bigger picture frame, you can use the whole strip also. It looks really cool. But the service I was using was having offering pictures in this size only. I wish the picture was a little bit more smaller. It would have looked more adorable, I think. It looks pretty good, right? And the best part is I can keep changing pictures. So I'm going to add it on my nightstand. Currently I'm using my guest room as my bedroom because our bedroom is getting painted and we all are suffering from cough and allergies, so I want to stay away from the paint fumes and all. So I'm going to use my guest room nightstand as my own nightstand. I'll just place few simple things I need. My nightstand decor is very simple. I like to keep it functional yet warm. So I'm going to add my favorite book. I like to scroll through it even though I've already read it 5 times. I like to look at the pictures in the book, and then I'm going to add a crystal bowl for my rings and earrings which I take off at night. And let's clean up the bed as well. Making my bed every day nicely is a huge part of my morning routine now. Call me crazy, but I love making my bed every morning. Coming to a nicely tucked bed at night is very, very important for me. It is part of my mental well-being, I would say. I also love planning my bedding combos every week. It is such a refreshing way to reuse your bed sheets in different ways, and it also gives a fresh look to my bedroom every week. Like sometimes I combine stripes and gingham, sometimes floral and stripes. And here I'm using some solid bed sheet with a block printed bed cover. So it is my fun way of taking up my bedroom. I also love spraying some essential oil or any soothing fragrance on the pillowcases specifically. It gives a very refreshing smell to the whole bedding, and it feels nice coming back to a good smelling bed. If you're facing sleep trouble, then I would recommend you to try spraying some eucalyptus oil on your pillows. It promotes better sleep. I have dealt with a lot of gut issues in the past few months. So focusing on my gut health is also extremely important for me. Even though I'm not a fan of green tea, I have added green tea into my daily schedule now. So now the question is, how do you keep yourself motivated to do something you do not like? Basically, you look for a pleasure point. Whenever we do something which gives us joy or pleasure, our brain releases a chemical called dopamine and it keeps you motivated. So I have found my dopamine release in these beautiful cups and kettle, and I look forward to using them every day and hence continue with my green tea schedule. I'm also trying to have different flavors of green tea to make it more interesting and not have a monotonous green tea session. If you have any recommendation about good tea brands, then let me know. I would love to try them. I also use this time to focus on my planning, whether it is about my investment or my content planning or any home projects I'm planning to do. So I keep writing my goals and things I have to do so that again I'm away from my screen and doing something productive. I'm also planning to start writing my recipes, my favorite recipes in a journal, because I'm very tired of looking for my favorite recipes on my mobile, on Instagram, saved reels and all that. So I'll be doing that also. Talking about recipes reminded me that I have to bake some cookies for my husband. He is diabetic and his office has shifted to a much further location now, so he comes home pretty late, so I am trying to make some homemade snacks for him. So today I am making Oats Banana cookies. These cookies are not just apt for diabetic people, this is good for people who are watching their weight or just trying to eat healthy. And this can be made easily with things available at home. You just need 1 ripe banana, 1 cup of oats. I am also adding some date syrup into it. You can also use fresh dates for this purpose, or you can completely skip this step. It is up to you. I am trying to add some natural sweetness into this cookie, so I am adding date syrup, and I'm also using unsweetened peanut butter. I'm also adding some baking soda into this. You can completely avoid it if you are allergic to it. Now we will mix everything nicely and leave the bowl covered for some time so that the oat is soaking up everything nicely and becomes much more softer. I've lined my baking tray with a baking sheet. You can also use your air fryer for making these cookies. I'll share all the details in the description box. So I'm just making small cookies using my hand. I'm hand rolling all the cookies. You can also use a ice cream scooper for making these small cookies. I'm not making the cookies very big so that they can easily fit in the tiffin box. It is up to you how you want to make them, but make sure that they are not very thin, otherwise they'll get very hard. Now the last step is completely optional. I'm adding some choco chips. You can also add some almonds and let the cookies bake for 15 to 20 minutes. Once the cookies are baked, let them cool off on the counter for some time so that they get more crispier and they are ready to eat. I also love adding some baked stuff on my coffee counter every week. It gives me a feeling as if I have my own home cafe, and I also like to believe that I'm saving a lot of money by making everything at home. This simple habit also helps us to avoid ready-made snack to some extent, and it is not always possible to bake something. Sometimes I'm traveling sick or not having enough time to bake things, but I try to bake whenever I can, and this simple ritual also makes our weekend more interesting. We look forward to our coffee mornings, coffee evenings with some homemade fresh snack. So that's it for today's video. I'll see you next week with a very interesting video on Holi celebration. So stay tuned, and thank you so much for supporting me all this while. Take care.